Hey you guys, it's Savannah, and today I'm going to be doing a walkthrough tour of my completed glittering dunes. We have a lot of areas inspired by Aladdin, featuring plenty of the new items from Aladdin and Jasmine, as well as the Oasis Retreat Star Path. My Oasis has also been transformed using plenty of Lion King items. So let's get started here. I am at the entrance of the glittering dunes here. I'm currently at the entrance of the plains. This whole area is set up as a marketplace. As I mentioned before, the Oasis is set up with a Lion King feel. And then down in the Borderlands, we have more of an Oasis retreat kind of vacation area with a little hotel set up. We have a bit of a Jafar area in this tiny area of the Borderlands that you'll see. And then moving into the wastes, we have more of an area for the royals featuring Aladdin and Jasmine's house. So let's get started in the plains. We have Ariel here to sell us plenty of who's and what's it's galore, because this area has been turned into a market inspired by Agrabah. Vanellope invisibly hopping through the market has me tripping over here. If you see the glitter bouncing around, that is Vanellope. She's glitched. So to the right here, we have a little stall window, and there are plenty of rugs for sale at this market. So just a cute little walk-in kind of market. I was kind of imagining like we're setting up little booths where vendors are bringing in all kinds of goods to sell. I did design this entire area in a two-part series on my channel in the slow builds. So if you're interested in seeing how this market actually came to life and my thought process on designing it all, definitely check that out. To the right, we have the market continued with a little rug area, some outdoor furniture, a bunch of gold jewelry and what have you. Over here, we have a little fruit stand. I'm loving these straw umbrellas all over the valley. I especially think they look good on areas like the beach and the desert, so I brought that in over here. Just a cute little fruit stand, and I think it will be really cute to see a villager kind of manning the station and selling some goods over here. Of course, my mining node is accessible over there too. I'm loving these little like walkway paths that were also from this most recent star path. Now circling back over here behind me, this is kind of like the main area of the market, and I swear Merlin is always sleeping here. Bro is always loitering at the market. We called him out, so now he's dipping. We all saw you, Merlin. Comment if you saw Merlin. We're on to his schemes. But anyway, this is just like a cute little like sitting area. I wanted to make it be kind of like a social spot for the villagers where they could come and hang out, take a break while they are shopping. If you're Merlin, apparently you think that this area is just for sleeping, but really it is for shopping. So I have tons of little stalls and goods on display and for sale surrounding the fountain, plenty of seating, and it's just a really cute, cozy little area in the plains here. Doing market builds like this is great because you can really kind of showcase any items you want. Mama G is over here checking out Rapunzel's little art supply stall, which I think is really cute. And then here I was able to make a really handy storage area included in this build. So I added in a bunch of storage chests where I can easily drop in a bunch of my items I'm collecting on Eternity Isle. So a really handy spot there. And again, just plenty of random items for sale in this area. And you really just can't do a market build wrong. You just have to keep adding in lots and lots of clutter, and it just makes it feel so lively and fun. Now, when I was doing my slow build for the desert, I was having an issue getting this crafting table from the hidden quest in the Aladdin realm, but I did finally get it. Thank you guys so much for your help. So I did add in the crafting station here, which I think is really cute. It has this gorgeous Aladdin-inspired lamp on the side of it, and I had to put a little statue of Jafar there just to taunt him a little bit with that lamp. So So over here, we have a little bit of a tea area and kind of like a furniture display. So I mixed in a bunch of little areas to have tea, and I'm kind of imagining that like you could buy all the little bits of furniture that are sitting out here. Continuing on this way, we are moving in towards the cactus house, and this is where I wanted to have a plant stand and kind of like a plant shop set up. So of course we had to go all out with featuring tons of cacti. I actually started working on designing the inside of this house as a members only live stream on my channel. So check that out if you're a member and you missed it. Shout out to all my members who were there. I appreciate you guys so much and thank you for your continued support. So we have a little cute plant shop going on here. We have Goofy's stall to the right here where you can buy some more gardening supplies. And then yeah, lots of little stalls circling this area. We have plenty of cacti for sale and the little chalkboard out there with all the prices. And then this way continues on over to Scrooge's. I think for the time being, we will loop on back over here and take a walk through the Borderlands first. Let's move on in to this kind of like tropical vacation area. This is where I ended up placing the new house that was a bonus reward in the star path, and I wanted to decorate it as a hotel, so that's exactly what we did. So to the left, we have this gorgeous new home. I think it's so beautiful here in the Glittering Dunes, and it definitely reminded me of a hotel. So that is how we have completely transformed the inside of this house. I think it's looking really good. We designed all of it on a live stream, so if you want a separate tour video of this house, definitely let me know in the comments. But that is our little resort. I forget what we ended up calling it, but I know that the Tea Party came up with a really cute name for that hotel. Definitely inspired by the show The White Lotus over here too, because it's just so good and it's about a hotel. So definitely took some inspo for this area from that show too. In front of the hotel, I wanted to add this beautiful fountain. I just love adding little pops of water throughout the desert. I think it's really nice, especially for areas like this where we wanted to have more of an upscale resort feel. It makes sense to have water in more bougie areas of the desert. So we have a nice little area to relax and enjoy a mimosa here next to the fountain as you are waiting to check in. And then to the right, we have a dining area and bar surrounding the outdoor pool of the hotel. So we have a nice little bar here. I love how this came together. All of this was decorated on stream with my viewers, and I just love this outdoor tropical bar. It really puts me in the mood for summer with the aquarium behind and the little drink blenders and all the tropical beverages on the counter. I think are so fun. So that is this little outdoor area. Lots of little seating bits around this tent as well. I added in the waterfall too for some more ambiance. And then across the way on the other side of the outdoor bar, we have the outdoor pool. Now I say outdoor because inside the hotel we designed, we also built an indoor pool in one of the rooms. So this is the outdoor pool with a lounge. Again, lots of little seating areas. The waterfalls all in back of the lounge chairs I think are so lovely. And I did add in these water lilies floating on top of the pool. I get a lot of comments about these water lilies, by the way, whenever I show them. If you're ever curious about them, there are two versions of this water lily. There's one that can go on water, and then there's one that can only be placed on land. I think the one that can go on water was only available in the Star Path, and I believe the one that goes on land is from Tiana's Quest. If I misspoke on any of that, please let me know in the comments so everyone else is not confused, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And that pretty much wraps up our lower hotel vacation area. And here we are moving into Jafar's domain. So I wanted to have a little area for Jafar in front of the palace because we can't really do much in front of his house otherwise, but he does have some pretty cool quest items. I, of course, wanted to showcase the color red, and making this path was no easy task. I don't know if I can recommend trying to make this path. Although it does look cool, it takes tons of materials. So for Jafar, I have placed a nice little chair next to Yago and his cooking station. We also have a model of the palace and his prism. I added in plenty of gold and also this cobra statue here on the other side of the cooking station. So that is the little area for Jafar. This is a very tricky area to decorate because it is so small, but I wanted to do a little something for Jafar. Not like he deserves it, but he is quite funny in the ballet, in my opinion. I love to see him hypnotizing the villagers. So now moving into the wastes, this is kind of ironically named because this is more of the like glamorous area in the Glittering Dunes. So this is kind of all done up to be for Aladdin and Jasmine. I have a lovely little sitting area here for Aladdin and Abu, surrounded by tons of monkeys where they just have oodles of fruits to enjoy and relax in the sun. So hopefully they all enjoy that. I love to see the little companions running around. I also have a bunch of turtles docked down at the pool below. We have another little tea area outside of this sand fountain, which I think is so cute. I did end up keeping Rapunzel's Corona Castle in the Glittering Dunes. I just think it goes along with the other buildings and suits this biome really nicely. So we have that there going along with the royal theme. In the back, I have the Desert Palace, which is a really beautiful building. We have a lovely little sitting area surrounded by this gorgeous peacock fountain in front of the palaces. This is a really cool item that I got from Jasmine's Quests, if you're wondering. It lights up. It's very beautiful. Let me just clear this little swirling sand away here. And this is Aladdin and Jasmine's yard. I ended up putting a bunch of rugs in front of their house. I was pretty underwhelmed by their house. We have jokingly been calling it a pepper shaker on the channel because that's kind of what it looks like, a little pepper grinder around their house. Just kept it very chill, surrounded by the rest of the palaces and the Cave of Wonders. And then of course back here we have the Desert Palace, which I am working on transforming into a spa. So that'll be really cool once that is all been set up. And I know that my little Cappy here is gonna love to hang out in the spa there. So let's make our way down into the plains again and check out Scrooge's. Scrooge has such a glamorous shopping area in front of his store, and this connects right back on over to where I had the cactus shop. But I just love the way it looks as you walk down this incline. I added in the water curtains from the night show Star Path on either side of Scrooge's. We of course have these spitting camels on either side of Scrooge's, and I used a bunch of the new Aladdin castle walls to surround Scrooge's and really make it look like it blends into the Glittering Dunes biome. I think Scrooge's looks good here no matter what. I love all the gold pops in the Glittering Dunes. I just think it works pretty seamlessly, but adding in those castle walls really helped to kind of like send this design home. So I'm really happy with how this little seating area around the fountain in front of Scrooge's turned out. And then we have some more little benches leading up into Scrooge's, and of course you can still enter Scrooge's, and the camels do in fact turn on if I can stop petting my Cappy. And yeah, the little camels do spit. So those are super fun. Let's make our way up into the Oasis. I don't believe much of this area has changed since my last Glittering Dunes tours. However, I did move my own house into the Glittering Dunes, and I'm pretty sure this whole lower area is quite different. So I ended up making this my house, the Animal Kingdom Lodge, here on Eternity Isle. I think it's beautiful here, tucked away in the Oasis. It's a quite small house, so it was pretty easy to fit here. I have some gorgeous lighting, like these firefly lamps throughout the area. I love these little butterfly fountains. Just really wanted to use a ton of the Lion King items. So we have a little crafting station here. I always want the areas surrounding my house to be really functional and easy for me to play. So we have a pottery station station outside of my house too. And this is really fun. I frequently see the villagers hanging out and working on their pottery skills. And then in the center here, I have this pottery station, which is actually a cooking station. And I think this has to be one of my favorite cooking stations in the game, just because it actually doesn't look like a cooking station. And I find it quite easy to incorporate into builds. And I like that it doesn't look like a cooking station. In the back, I have this little like pottery stall set up. And then I have transformed the well using this well skin, which just worked perfectly in the Glittering Dunes. I used it up here as well as next to Scrooge's. Not too much to see over here. We have the waterfall, the cute little leafy beanbag chair. And then coming up here, we have Pride Rock. And this, of course, is where all of the Lion King villagers live except for Scar. Scar has been moved back on to Dreamlight Valley and is currently residing in the Elephant Graveyard. So we have Pride Rock here. I don't believe too much of this area has changed since I last showed you guys in a tour. So I have all my cacto berries up here, as well as the little Simba cub night lights scattered throughout. And I just kept this quite natural, jungly, and really wanted to make it feel like it naturally fit into the Oasis. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing my Glittering Dunes. If you would like to see any further looks of these areas, definitely check out more on my channel. Like I mentioned, I did a few slow builds, actually building the market area, and we have done a lot of decorating for the rest of the Glittering Dunes, as well as the houses I mentioned as videos and in my lives. So check those out. If you're new, subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. I did just want to include a quick clip of how this area looks as we are in the overhead menu, just because sometimes people ask to see how it is all looking. So here is a quick little glance of how I have the path and everything laid out. And yeah, I hope that this is helpful.